Welcome back to The Patient Man. Here we are down here on the beautiful beach. Got an absolutely stunning day today. Again, I'll just show you where I am. I'll give you a little bit of a rotate. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Everybody. Man, this one's a really good one. Really good. I know I say they're all good, but I think because I actually went through individually and found all of these subjects, they've got something personal with me. So I think when I say this is a good subject or this is a deep subject and I constantly repeat it, I'm sorry, but it really does mean a lot to me. There are certain subjects that I can really resonate deep with, and most of them are that, because otherwise I wouldn't comment on something I haven't gone through or experienced. So, what does your inner critic say? Have a think about that one. What does your inner critic say? When you do something in life, do you find that, let's say if you fail at something, the word fail I don't really like, but if you don't succeed at something to your potential of what you believe you can do, what does your inner critic say to you? Do you just absolutely destroy yourself like a character assassination? Do you have grace with yourself? What does your inner critic say to you? What's your self-worth? What is the most important part of your inner critic? That do you listen to it? Do you witness it and let it go past? For me, my inner critic was really strong. I had a lot of self-talking in my head, and I don't think I had any other conditions or disorders. I just think I struggled so much in confidence and self-worth that I made up narratives in my head about what would happen if I did fail, or how am I going to get through certain things. So my one that I can remember off the top of my head now, whilst I'm free-flowing, is mine was always like a performance sort of setup. So if I was expected to do, let's say if I was playing a footy game and the coaches were saying, you have to do this, you have to do that, and I didn't have, it wasn't in my game to do that, or it wasn't in my capabilities to do that, and then I went out to try to execute such a plan that the coach asked for, I would come off the field feeling like the biggest bag of shit and the biggest failure in history. And I would tell myself, every time I would go near that ball and I made a mistake because I made myself so nervous, I would say to myself, are you worth your money? Are you worth your money? Now, in my scenario, I was a reasonably okay football player, and I used to, I was lucky enough to be able to get paid sometimes towards the end of my career. And that, when I started asking for that money and started to ask, I started to test my self-worth out, and I wasn't ready for that at all. So my inner critic used to come up and just destroy me. It'd cripple me to the point where I couldn't even perform in sport. You know, I was a very solid, physically solid person. Mentally, I was very scared, and I played like that. I will absolutely say I was extremely skillful. I had very good skills on both sides of the body. But what people perceived me as, they perceived that I was big, and I had to hurt people, and I had to be the one crashing the packs, and it just wasn't in my game. It wasn't my nature. I was an outside player, and I wish I knew that, and I was happy to voice that to anyone when I was younger, but I was too scared to. So I let my inner critic take over, and I believe that caused me a lot of issues. And that's no one else's fault. That's life. That's learning about how to identify with what you say about yourself, or you can just live through it, let it go through and go through to the keeper, as you would say. So, with you men out there, and this is probably, I would say, I'm not going to say embarrassing for you, but it's a hard one to talk about because no one knows what thoughts go through your mind. No one will understand what goes through your mind unless you verbalise it, which even then is quite hard. But what for you men found that your inner critic came out the most? Another quick scenario for me was family. Never feeling, always saying to myself when I was getting in trouble all the time, like I'm never going to be anywhere. I'm not going to do anything in my life. I can't. Everyone that talks to me just consistently tells me to shut up, stop talking. You'll be nothing when you get older. And this is school teachers too, mind you. So that didn't. I wouldn't say that would have helped my psyche, especially not my inner voice. My inner voice started to become. I started to believe what people were saying about me. I believed that I was stupid. I believed I had no power in the world. I believed that I was a shit son, shit brother, shit everything, just horrible at everything. And that just made my inner critic grow like a beast. Now I'm very blessed. I could almost say, comfortably, I don't really have an inner critic anymore. Very, very rarely do I have self-chat in my head talking about my worth. I did the hard work with my psychologist to find out what my self-worth is and to understand that I am enough. And that's changed my inner critic so much that I don't even feel like he's there anymore. Do I miss him? No, I don't miss him. But it was a part of who I am, and it made me who I am. It made me strong. It made me resilient. It caused me a lot of pain. But that pain I have lived through now, and I can say I've gone past it, and it has absolutely taught me and given me some of the best tools to be able to move forwards in life with that freedom in here. All the way in here. Not up here, in here. So my question to you today, question of the day, is what does your inner critic say to you when you fail at something? And how much do you let it take over? Drop in the comments below. Have a chat about it. I'm really interested to know what other people's are because everyone's different. And we can have a really, really good chat. And again, as I'll say, many and more often times than anything, is just remember in life, be patient with yourself. Be patient with other people and be patient with life because things will come. Don't rush it. Much love, everybody. Much love. Have a great day.